Alright, it's time to try out our next filament. This is Fillamentum, and it's called Vertigo Grey. So it's kind of a dark gray with some silvery glitter in it, so that's going to be super cool for some of our projects. On the website it says it wants to process between 190 and 210. It doesn't have any heating bed recommendations, so we'll start at a low temperature and see how it adheres to the Flashforge bed, which has very good adhesion. Now this particular reel is 200 millimeters in diameter, so it will fit inside of our case, and because it's only a little over 50, or maybe 58 millimeters wide. So if you remember with the black PLA filament from HGA, that reel was 80 millimeters wide and would not fit safely into the case. So this one should fit in there okay. It'll be far enough from the print bed, so we won't have to use our side loader. Alright, so I turned the machine on and homed the print head and the printer base. Now we got to move the printer base down to the bottom because it's much easier to load the reels, those big reels in there, if that's at the bottom. So we're going to use our machine control panel from Simplify 3D. So we connect it to the printer, go to the jog controls, and we want to go plus 100 on the Z axis. That'll move it down 100. And the maximum Z is 140, so we can hit this 4 times, and we'll get down at the maximum position. Let's say the lowest possible position. Alright, so that's the lowest possible position. Now we have enough room to easily get in there and mount our reel. So let's get set up for that. So this reel is only 58 millimeters wide, so we can only use one of these inserts. We'll put the other insert in, it pushes out the other one. So we'll just use one of them. And we'll use our rod to go in here, but we want to try to keep this as far away from the print bed as possible, so we're going to put our spacer in here, our 10 millimeter spacer, and that will keep it farther away from the print bed. On the other side, we're going to use our fender washer just to make it rotate smoother. I think that'll all fit in there. Let's see. It's going to go in the highest position. This is a 200 millimeter reel. Alright, so you can see that it's well away from the print bed. So if we home the print bed again, you can see it usually clears it. So this will keep it far enough away from the print bed, rather. Let's keep it far enough away from the print bed when it's printing on this side of the print. So we shouldn't have any problems with this reel. Alright, so we'll load the filament up and then we'll go ahead and do our test. We're going to start with the temperature tower as usual, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so we started loading the filament and it wants to pop off the reel like this. So we don't want it running up against the print bed. So I'm going to run it in from the side. I'm going to use the side loader anyway. That's kind of disappointing, but for some reason this is just too springy or something. It wants to come off of the reel. So we're going to put it right in from the side. Alright, so we're running it in from the side. This rod here is much wider than this thing, so we're going to put the other support over here. There's enough room for it. Unfortunately, this rod, which was from a different designer, doesn't quite fit. These things don't quite fit in there, so I'm going to have to ream these out a little bit, I guess. This is a little bit bigger diameter than these. Otherwise, I would use some spacers in here. But the way this is set up, it goes through this tube right here. And that pushes the filament to this side. So the filament has to feed from this side of the reel. So I've got the reel all the way over to this one side. Get it on the little indentation there. There. So it's all the way over to this side, and it should feed in just fine. So it's coming to the top, coming to the side rather, and it comes out here and goes into the tube. Our usual feed strong back. Up to this remember we've got this short tube here, one of the two short tubes that came with the printer to help prevent erosion around this hole going into the print head. So we've made good use of our two short tubes, one here and one coming in from the side, so that we can feed smoothly in through the side of the cabinet and still keep the side screen off to keep it for better temperature control. So it worked out really well with the last filament, and I think it's going to work again here. So we'll just load this filament up and then we'll start our tests. So we've got our filament loaded, so it's time to start with our temperature tower, which we always do. So again, the website suggests 190 to 210 for the extruder temperature. So we're going to go from 180 to 220. And so we enter those parameters and we just save it, and automatically creates our temperature tower for us. So we'll render that. Almost done. It's almost done. It's almost done. It's almost done. All right, that's our favorite sound. It's done. So now we'll import this model. First we'll export to STL. And we're calling it Vertigo Grey. So we export an STL file. Now we're going to import that into Simplify 3D so we can print it to our printer. Temperature is done. Let's see if we can get it off of here. It's a really good adhesion with using 55 degrees. There we go. That wasn't too bad. That's when I started. Let's take a look at it here. I like the shiny. So 210 looks pretty good. One string here on 205. Not sure that's significant. That could just be a glitch. 200. 215. They're all very similar. 190 is too low, that's for sure. And 180. Some stringing here. Of course, that was the last bit of it, so there's always a string off that one. 195. Look at these cones over there. 210 cone looks pretty good. Well, 195 has the best bridge, so I think let's try that. Well, the cone is not quite as good, so. Well, we'll go with 200. Bridge is about the same, and the cone looks better on 200, so. Cones are definitely getting worse going up here. So we'll go with 200, that's the median temperature, so that's no surprise really. Alright, so that's our temperature, 200. Now we're going to do a bed adhesion test, just to double check that. Our bed adhesion test is done, so we're going to see how these corners held up. String on the end of it there. So corners look pretty tight, but it's not too hard to get it off, so I think that's about ideal. See, it's holding on pretty well there. Alright, there's our test. Nice surface on the bottom there. No real anomalies. There's one little teeny one over here, but it's not much. What happened over here? Let's see. Minor anomaly here, but so I think 55 is good. So we're going with 200 for the extrusion temperature and 55 for the bed temperature. All right, one more thing to do. I think since this is kind of a cool filament here with the shiny silver particles, we're going to do a CaliCat because that'll be a fun souvenir when we're all done. So that's the next thing. Alright, let's see how we did. It's pretty good. Easy comes off. Easily. Got some stringing between the tail and the body, which I realized just as I saw it that I forgot to uncheck this only retract when crossing open spaces. So if you uncheck this, then you won't get this kind of stringing that you see here between one part of the part and another that's got a gap in it. So only retract with open spaces is when you're making multiple parts. The default is to only retract when you're going from one part to another, but if you go within a part, you get this stringing. So a good way to eliminate stringing is to do a retraction between all moves that aren't putting down filament. So it makes it take a little bit longer. I think it's got to retract and stick back out again, but that's worked really well for me. So I got to make sure I change the default so the next filament I try, I don't have this problem. But just looking at CaliCat here, it looks good. The dark gray with the silver speckles is really cool looking, and the definition on the ears looks almost perfect, I'd say. These thin lines at the top here are just about perfect, and overhangs look good, feet look good, the bottom looks really terrific. So wow, this is going to be a good filament. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is STScI signing out, and keep looking up.